Hello, baseball fans. This is King Ikibu coming to you live from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, where today we are continuing on our Best of the 80s replay Game of the Week. It is July the 4th, 1983, Independence Day, and we're going to play a game between the big rivalry of the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. This is the fourth game of a four-game series. It started off with the Red Sox 42-31. They lost their last two games. They're 5-5 in the last 10, and they're plus 69 in run differential. And the Yankees 34-38. They've lost 7 games in a row. 3-7 in the last 10 and minus 25 in run differential. In the real series, these two teams went 2-2. And so far this season, the Red Sox have won all 3 games played between these two teams. First half MVP of the Red Sox, since we are in July now, almost halfway through the 1983 season, the first half MVP has been Wade Boggs, who's batting .428 with a .498 on-base percentage and a .565 slugging. He has 2 home runs and 48 RBIs. We are definitely on now that we're going to halfway through the season. We can really say this is a 400 watch that will hopefully continue on for the rest of the season. The first half MVP of the Yankees is Dave Winfield. He batted .298, .346 on base, .533 slugging with 14 home runs and 44 RBIs. Game 1 was between Dennis Eckersley, 4-3, .641 ERA. Not a sparkling season in 1983 for the Eck. And he faced Jay Howell, who is 3-4, .598. So it was not a pitcher's duel. But today's hero, it was an interesting ball game, the Yankees were up by a score of 5-3 in the ninth. They brought in Goose Gossage, and Gossage has struggled. He's been lights out in the first 3 seasons of this replay, but this year he is struggling mightily. His ERA balloons to .528 as he blows only a second save, but still his ERA is really high, and he blew the save here. And then the Red Sox, so how did they do it? They tied a 2-run double with 2 out by Jerry Remy, tied the game, and then Carl Yastrzemski had an RBI single in the top of the 10th to put the Red Sox ahead, and they won it 7-6. Game 2, Bruce Hurst, 8-6, .280 versus Matt Keogh, just recently over from the Oakland Athletics, who is 2-5, .649. Another not very good pitcher for the Yankees. .649 ERA, .598 ERA. And this time the game was tied 1-1, so you wouldn't think it would be a pitcher's duel, but it was 1-1 until the 9th inning when Carl Yastrzemski was the hero of the game for the second game in a row. This time he hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 9th here in his final season for the Red Sox. And the Red Sox won 3-1. Wade Boggs went 0 for 2 with 2 walks, and his batting average dropped to .426. Here in Game 3, Bobby Ojeda, 6-2, .279 versus Shane Raleigh, 3-7, .399. This time the Yankees jumped up ahead 7-2 in the 4th inning, and they hung on for a 7-5 victory. This time Goose Gossage did not blow the save. He got his 17th save of the year. And the star of the game was Roy Smalley, who had a homer and 2 RBIs. And now that brings us to today's game here on July the 4th, Independence Day, July the 4th, 1983. John Tudor, 8-5, .323 versus Dave Righetti, 6-8, .312. Now, not only is it a holiday, not only is it the last game before the All-Star break, and this year they had their All-Star break start on a Monday and have the All-Star game on a Wednesday because of July 4th falling on a Monday. That's the way they did it in 1983. But not only that, but it was a no-hitter for Dave Righetti in this game. July the 4th, 1983, Dave Righetti threw a no-hitter, And the Yankees won 4-0 behind Righetti's no-hitter. He walked 4, struck out 9. It was the first no-hitter at Yankee Stadium since 1956 World Series. Don Larson's, of course, perfect game. So this was quite a memorable game. It was also the first time the Red Sox were no-hit since 1968. So it was 15 years since they last were no-hit. So this was a memorable game, and we're going to replay it for you right today. So here are the lineups for the Boston Red Sox. And the Red Sox now have a record of 44-32. They're 9 games behind Toronto, who really are staying up there at first place, just behind the Baltimore Orioles. And the Yankees are 35-40. They're in last place. They just lost 9 games in a row, and they won the last game, so they're 1-9 in their last 10. But here's the lineup for the Red Sox. Leading off and playing second base, Jerry Remy. Batting second, Wade Boggs at third. Batting third, Jim Rice in left field. Batting fourth, the cleanup hitter, Tony Armas in center. Batting fifth in right field, Dewey Evans. Batting sixth, the DH, Reed Nichols. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Dave Stapleton. Batting eighth, the catcher, Jeff Newman. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Glenn Hoffman. And of course, our starting pitcher, John Tudor. For the New York Yankees, leading off and playing third base, Bert Campaneris. Batting second at first base in his rookie season, Don Mattingly. Batting third in center field, Dave Winfield. Batting fourth in left field, Lou Piniella. Batting fifth, the DH, Don Baylor. Batting sixth, the catcher, Butch Weiniger. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Steve Kemp. Batting eighth, the shortstop, yesterday's hero, Roy Smalley. And batting ninth, the second baseman for the injured Willie Randolph, Andre Robertson. And of course, Dave Righetti on the mound. Let's get this ball game underway, ladies and gentlemen. Will it be as memorable as the real game back on July 4th, 1983? Jerry Remy's up. He's batting 300 in 300 plate appearances. And he has a possible error. And he does not have error, so he just grounded out to the first baseman, Mattingly, unassisted. Here's Wade Boggs. He's batting .426. His on-base is just shy of 50%, and his slugging percentage is .564. He has 2 home runs and 48 RBIs. And he grounds out to the shortstop. Smalley makes the play, 2 down. Here's Jim Rice batting .269 with 18 home runs and 58 RBIs. And he flies out to left. So 1-2-3 go the Red Sox in the first inning. Here are the Yankees. Bert Campaneris leading off. His last season in the major leagues, he played for the Yankees, and he had a pretty good season with the .355 on-base percentage. And in the replay, he's batting .347 with .385 on-base percentage. But he grounds out to the shortstop. Shortstop is Glenn Hoffman, 1 away. Don Mattingly, he's batting .275 with 1 home run, 4 RBIs in his rookie season. And he grounds out to the second baseman, Remy. And here's Winfield, the first half MVP of the Yankees. And he flies out. So Righetti, his grade drops now to C because he's pitched 1 inning. He's not tired yet, but it is dropping. Here's Tony Armas, 15 home runs, 40 RBIs, .238 batting average. He strikes out, as he did quite often in those days. Dwight Evans, he has been spectacular in this replay so far, though his, the first 3 years, his average has dipped in 1983 to .230, but he's still among the leaders in home runs and RBIs. And he pops out to the second baseman, Robertson, for the second out. And here's Reed Nichols, the DH, batting .274. And he flies out to right. So that ends the Red Sox second. Here's Lou Piniella for the Yankees in the second, batting .247 with 2 homers and 8 RBIs. And he gets a base hit, the first hit of the ball game. He's not going to steal. Here's Baylor The man who got hit by a pitch more than anybody, though he only has 2. I looked it up. He only has 2 so far this season, which is quite unusual for him. And he gets a strike, so he gets another swing of the bat. And he gets another base hit, so it's first and second, nobody out for the Yankees here in the second inning. Here's Weiniger batting .294, 3 homers, 14 RBIs. And he gets a double 3, so he gets the second column. And he rolls a 24. It is going to be a double, possible home run. And he passes the first check. Now, if he rolls 11 to 26, he has a 3-run homer. And it's 62, so it stays a double, but it scores 2 runs and the Yankees are up 2-0. Steve Kemp batting .245 with 8 home runs and 27 RBIs. And he has a possible error, no error, strikes out. 1 away here in the second inning. Roy Smalley batting .247 with 10 homers and 40 RBIs. Hits a ground ball to shortstop Hoffman, who makes the play. Throws the first, and the runner holds at second base. Here's Robertson, batting .246 in a part-time role with 1 homer and 13 RBIs. He walks, brings back Campaneris. Campaneris fouls out to end the second inning, but it's 2-0 Yankees. And Righetti still has his no-hitter after 2. I know it's only 2 innings. Here's Stapleton, batting .234 with 8 homers and 40 RBIs. He strikes out. Newman. He is a third-string catcher for the Red Sox. He has 4 homers, 9 RBIs, and a .205 batting average. And he is out on a foul-out to the third baseman, Campaneris, for the second out of the inning. Here's Hoffman. He strikes out. So Righetti is perfect through 3 innings. And here is Mattingly. Mattingly is 0 for 1. He grounded to second base the first time up. And he strikes out. Winfield, he pops up, and Piniella pops out. So it's still 2-0 after 3 innings. Here's Remy. He strikes out. That's strikeout number 4 for Righetti. Here's Boggs, 0 for 1. He strikes out. That's strikeout number 5 for Righetti. Here's Rice. Rice flies out to right. And it is 4 hitless innings for Righetti. Here's Baylor to lead off the 4th. He singled the first time up. And here's a possible error. No error. Fouled out. Lots of foul outs here today. There's 4 foul outs to the third baseman in the last couple innings. Here's Butch Weiniger. He doubled last time up. He strikes out. Strikeout number 3 for John Tudor. And I have written in the past in my write-ups that if the Red Sox would have kept their last 2 pitchers, Ojeda and Tudor, there would be no doubt in my mind they would have won the 1986 World Series. So it was unfortunate that they got rid of these 2 pitchers. Can you imagine a starting rotation of John Tudor, Bobby Ojeda, Bruce Hurst, Roger Clemens, and Oil Can Boyd? Can you imagine a pitching staff like that? They would have easily won the World Series in 1986. In my opinion, humble opinion, there would have been no Billy Buckner. They would have just won it in 4 straight, and it would have been that would be it. And the curse of the Bambino would have been over long before 2003. But woulda, shoulda, coulda. I know why they did it, because back then in the 80s, they just, the thought was you can't have, if you're a Boston Red Sox, you cannot have a lot of left-handed starters because of the Green Monster. That was the prevailing thought back then. Of course, today, they don't think that way anymore. They got Price, they got Sale. They don't think that way anymore. But back in the 80s, they certainly did. Anyway, back to the game. Here's Kemp here in the 4th inning. He fouled out. So after 4 complete, it's still 2-0 Yankees. Tony Armas struck out last time. He flied out to center field to Winfield for the first out in the 5th. Here's Dwight Evans. He grounded to second last time. And a 9, that would have been a hit, but Righetti took away the hit. And it's just another pop out to the third baseman. Here's Reed Nichols here in the 5th. He has a ball. He gets another roll of the dice. And he strikes out. That is strikeout number 6 for Righetti. So after 4.5, but after 5 Red Sox innings, it's still nothing for the Red Sox. Here's Smalley in the 5th. He grounded to short. And he walks. So runner on for Andre Robertson. He gets double ones. So gets a second column, 45. That is going to be a double possible home run, although he has to roll 11 or 12 to get past the first level of the check, and he rolls 51. So it remains a double, and we have second and third, nobody out for Bert Campaneris. John Tudor is in trouble. Now, the way I play is pitcher cannot be relieved if he's pitching a shutout, and he cannot be relieved until the 6th inning. So Tudor has to stay in the ball game, but he's not tired yet anyway. And another pop out to third. How many has there been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the last 3 innings. Here's Mattingly. He is ground to second base and struck out. And he gets double sixes, so he's in the second column. He rolls a 21. That is at least a double. He may be more. Let's see. He gets the second check. Will he get the first check? Will he get the second check? He does. A home run number 2 for Don Mattingly, and it's 5-0 Yankees. 5-0 Yankees, a home run, 3-run homer by Don Mattingly. I don't know if the Yankees knew what they had yet in 1983 with this young Don Mattingly, but they will in a couple years, as in 1985, he was the best hitter in baseball that season. Here's Winfield. He's flied to left, and he's fouled one of the foul outs to third base that we've seen. And he grounds out to the pitcher. So that's 2 away here in the 5th, and Piniella flies out to left. So after 5 complete, it's 5-0 Yankees. Here's Dave Stapleton, struck out his first time up, one of the 6 Red Sox strikeouts. Another hit taken away by Righetti, and another pop out to third base. Those third basemen, it's good it's not a sunny day in New York. It probably is, but they've taken all those pop flies flawlessly so far in the sun. Here's Newman. He is grounded, or hopefully that's grounded. Maybe it's another pop fly there to third base. And he rolls. It's a possible error. No error. So there's 2 out here in the 6th. Still perfect is Dave Righetti. Here's Hoffman. Ground out to second base. So 6 perfect innings for Dave Righetti. Here's Baylor in the Yankee 6th. He is singled and popped out to the third baseman, Wade Boggs. And he fouls out to left. 1 away. Here's Weiniger. Ground out to third base. So that must be very unusual for a third baseman to ground the ball instead of pop out. One of the first he's faced. Here's Kemp with 2 out here in the 6th. And he grounds out to short. So after 6 complete, it's still 5-0 Yankees. We go to the 7th. Jerry Remy. Possible error. No error. Fly out to right. Wade Boggs. Possible error. Fly out to center. Jim Rice. Flied out to left. So 7 perfect innings for Dave Righetti. Here's Roy Smalley. He had walked and he ground to short. 0 for 1. Ground out to the pitcher. 1 away in the 7th. Ground out to shortstop. 2 away. Ground out to shortstop. The inning's over. After 7, it's 5-0. Here's Tony Arbus in the 8th inning. Dave Righetti still going strong. Struck him out. 7th strikeout for Righetti. Here's Dwight Evans. Fouled out. Another foul out to third base. That's 2 away here in the 8th. Reed Nichols. Pop out. Another one. How many is that? That's got to be some kind of record. I'm not going to look it up. I am not going to look up what's the record for pop out to third base in one game, because I'm certain this would be it. Here's Mattingly here in the bottom of the eighth. And yes, after 7.5, Red Sox still don't have a base runner. Here is Don Mattingly. He homered last time up. He is 1 for 3. Struck out, grounded out, and homered. And he gets a base hit. The first hit we've had in a while since he's last been up. So runner on for Dave Winfield. He's 0 for 3. He flied out to center. Runner holds. Lou Piniella. Single. And Tudor is finally down to a D. We do have one reliever available. That's Mark Clear. He will come in at this point. Mark Clear will come in. Here he is. Change the pitcher. He is 1-2, 4.02 ERA. Mark Clear trying to hold the Yankees close to see if we can mount another ninth inning comeback, as we have twice in this series already. Actually, the one was a game winning. It was tied going the ninth. But they did come back in the first game. So runners at first and second for the Yankees. Don Baylor up. He is singled and popped out and flied out. And he strikes out. So there's 2 away here in the eighth. Butch Weiniger. He is doubled, struck out, and grounded to third. Here's Weiniger, 2 men on. He gets a base hit and a runner scores. He's not going to try to steal. So it's 6-0 Yankees. First and third. And as a tradition is, I put a slow runner with 2 out. No point in trying to get... I know that's one thing that bothers me about this game. There's so many times... how many times do you see with 2 out a runner try to go to third and get thrown out at third? So I always put on the brakes. But if it's a double, he will try to score. That's just what I do. Anyway, 6-0. 2 men on, 2 out for Kemp. He is 0 for 3. And he has a possible error, and the inning's over. He flies out to right to Dwight Evans. So after 8 complete innings, the score, New York 6, Red Sox nothing. Dave Righetti in the 9th inning. You can't write this stuff, folks. I mean, in real life, he pitched a no-hitter, and here we go. This is the first real no-hitter bid that we've had this year in this. How many games have I played? Here in 1983. All games we've played. Notice how many games are remaining. 1126. We've played 983 games. This is the closest to a no-hitter. We've had lots of... I'm going to bring it up. I keep record here in this spreadsheet of our no-hitters and everything. All the records that we have. Let's see. No-hitters. So... we've had 9 no-hitters in this replay so far. We've had 3 in 1980. Don Sutton for Los Angeles versus Montreal. 1-0 game on June the 18th. That was our first no-hitter. Then Dan Petrie of the Tigers on August the 1st, 1980, pitched a no-hitter against Seattle, 5-0. Then Nino Espinosa. That was one of the most... how should I say, surprising no-hitters, because he had really poor ratings, plus like a M or N. So he's a very unlikely no-hitter, but he threw a no-hitter for Philadelphia versus Los Angeles, and that was on August the 25th, 1980. Those were the 3 no-hitters in 1980. Then 1981, we had 5 of them. Steve McCatty of the Oakland A's versus Minnesota. He gave up a run, but it was a no-hitter for Oakland, as they won 4-1. Then Jack Morris, the second Tiger to throw a no-hitter in the replay. June the 19th, 1981, versus the White Sox. He won handily, 8-0. Then Ron Guidry pitched a no-hitter against Detroit. He gave up a run. Detroit is involved with 3 of the first 6 no-hitters. They were pitched them the first 2, and they were the victim in the third. Ron Guidry of the Yankees on July the 10th. Then Mike Krukow of the Cubs, of all people, threw a no-hitter against Pittsburgh on August the 15th, 2-0. And then in the World Series, Game 1, the Fernando Valenzuela against Milwaukee, the powerful Brewers, the Harvey's Wallbangers, pitched a no-hitter 3-0. And then the only no-hitter of 1982 was this John Tudor versus Baltimore on August the 2nd. And that's the last no-hitter. It's almost been a year. And we haven't had much of a sniff. Because here are no-hitters broken up in the 9th inning. There's been 5 of them, 4 of them in 1982. In a way, I'm sorry, Red Sox fans, but I'm hoping it would just be pretty incredible if Dave Righetti pitched a no-hitter here today, on the day that he pitched one in real life. But this one's even better. It's perfect so far, and he's facing Stapleton, Newman, and Hoffman, the bottom of the Red Sox order. Cross your fingers. Let's see what happens. Here's Dave Stapleton. He, of course, is 0 for 2. He strikes out. Strikeout number 8 for Righetti. Brings up Jeff Newman. Jeff Newman is 0 for 2. Now, I could pinch hit for Newman to bring in a better hitter. That's probably what they would do. They would bring in Rich Gedman at this point. Sorry, Yankee fans. I just have to do things the right way. That's people, I don't know if they know how meticulous I am in this replay. I want to do things right. I don't want any, it's pretty hard when you play both sides to do things right, but I always want to do things right. So I think the Red Sox would probably bring in Rich Gedman. At this point, he's a much better hitter. He's a 300 hitter versus the weak hitting Jeff Newman. And if he gets a hit here, I'm kind of going to be choked. But anyway, 1-2 strikeout. That's 2 strikeouts. He's got 9. And we're down to the last hitter, Glenn Hoffman, the shortstop. He's a .264 hitter with 6 home runs, 28 RBIs, 2 out here in the 9th. I haven't had a perfect game. I haven't had a perfect game yet. But here we go. It's one roll of the dice. What will happen? It is a perfect game. On the game that Dave Righetti pitches a no-hitter, he pitches a perfect game in the replay. It's 6-0. Here is your box score. No doubt, the player of the game, today's hero, Dave Righetti, 9 innings, no hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts, as the Yankees win 6-0. And I sure hope this recorded, because I recorded a game yesterday in the 1930-1968 challenge, and it didn't record. So I am hoping that this recorded, because this was one to remember. So here's your box score. Now, on the downside, Wade Boggs went 0 for 3, and his batting average dropped to .421. The hitting star, Don Mattingly, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, 1 homer, 3 RBIs. But of course, Dave Righetti is the man today. On the day that he pitched a no-hitter, here is the write-up. Dave Righetti tossed a no-hitter on the 4th of July. Well, we did that one better. He pitched a perfect game on the 4th of July. And, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I've never enjoyed a Yankee victory this much in my life. But anyway, this is signing off. Fireworks at Yankee Stadium, as on the 4th of July, Dave Righetti pitches a perfect game, and the Yankees win 6-0. This is King Icky Boo signing off from Yankee Stadium. We'll catch you next time. Goodbye, everybody.